Okay, now we get a little more complex in the equations. All this unit is solving equations. You got 2x plus 3 equals 15. And we're not, again, we have to find the value for the x. So, make a wall on the side of the x. We don't care about the fit. Well, we're going to go over to the 15 eventually, but right now for the operators, I got 2 times x. Circle the times, but don't circle the plus. Don't circle the plus and the minus. If it's minus, you make it plus negative, but we don't circle that. Now, here's how you need to solve this. So you have 2 operations. You got a times 2 and a plus 3. Now, the reason I'm having you circle the multiplication and division is because first you look outside. The outside operation, we got to get that to a 0. Okay? So if I'm at a 3 and I have to get that to a 0, I'm going this way on the number line, which means subtract 3. Then I line up the equals, 2.x, I'm going to keep that circled, and then 12. Okay, now I've got times 2, so on number line we don't think. Opposite of times 2 is divide by 2. Underline both sides, put your 2 factor. And x times a 2 divided by a 2 is x, and then 12 divided by 2 is 6, so we have 6. Okay, to check if that's right, we're going to take 2 times 6 plus 3. You could do that in your head. 2 times 6 is 12 plus 3 is 15. Okay, next one, negative 3 plus 5x equals 12. So between the negative 3 and the 5, we have a plus. Between the 5 and the x, we got a times, and then we run into the equals. So I circle the times. Now the outside number we want to get rid of, so we got to go from negative 3 to 0. So I go to the right, which means addition of 3. Negative 3 plus 3 is 0. So I line up the equals. We got 5.x, 5 times x. 12 plus 3 is 15. 5 times what number is 15? You know it. You could also divide by 5, and it's 3. Okay, next one, x divided by 6 minus 3 equals 8. X over here. So you got division, minus, make that plus negative. Now just like multiplication here, you want to circle the division. Okay, so outside of the division, we do the outside operation first, the negative 3. So to take a negative 3 to 0, you would go to the right on a number line, which means addition by 3. 11x divided by 6. Now the opposite of times 6, or divide by 6 is times 6. And then 11 times 6 is 66. Okay, I want to check my answers real quick from here. X is 3, so negative 3 plus 5 times 3. Is that 12? Sure it is. X 66 divided by 6 minus 3. Is that 8? Sure it is. Okay. Negative 12 equals 8 plus f divided by 2. So the variable's over here this time. 8 and f, you got plus, and f and 2, you got divide. Please circle the divided by. You get that outside number to a 0. That's got to go before you worry about the multiplying, dividing. To get a positive 8 to a 0, you would go 8 backwards, which means subtraction 8. Subtraction 8. Line up the equals. Negative 12 minus 8 is negative 20. On a think number line, you're at negative 12, you move 8 left, you're at negative 20. Okay, then the opposite of divide by 2 is times 2 and times 2. So line up your equals. So 2 times negative 20 is negative 40. Times 2 divide by 2 is just f. Okay, so I'm going to take 8. Remember, on the right side is where all the operations are. So 8 plus negative 40 for f divided by 2. Negative 12. Boom. Just like it says over here. Okay, next one. There's a number line. 16 minus 3x equals 34. So we're over here. That's where all the operations are. 16 and 3 is minus. Please make that into a plus negative. 3 and x is times. Now circle the times. If you have a times or dividing operator, you want to circle that. Okay, you got to get rid of the outside first. 16. To get from a 16 to a 0, we're moving this way, which is subtraction from both sides. Subtraction, subtraction, 16, 16. Equals negative 3 dot x. 34 minus 16 is 18. So we divide by negative 3. 18 divided by negative 3 is negative 6. Remember, when you're multiplying and dividing, it's got to be by the exact same number. Switching it to a positive 3 is not the way to go. Okay, next one. 1/3 x minus 6 equals negative 15. So you got 1 divided by 3, which means 1/3, times x minus 6 plus negative. Circle the times operation. The negative 6 has to go to 0. So if I'm at negative 6 going to 0, I'm headed that way, which means addition. So plus, plus, 6, 6. Not negative 6, okay? Moving 6 to the right is just adding 6. It's not adding negative 6. Adding positive 6. So you got 1/3 times x. Negative 15 plus 6, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, negative 9. Now you have multiplication by a fraction. Well, we're going to divide by the fraction 1/3. Then you can either take a calculator and do but negative 9 divided by 1 ABC 3. Or you can put your negative 9 over 1 times by 3 over 1. Negative 27 over 1 is negative 27. Okay. Again, check your answer. 1 ABC 3 times negative 27, because that's x, minus 6. Hopefully it's negative 15. It is. Okay, now you're going to get a couple oddballs. X minus 7 divided by 2 equals 8. This is odd, and here's why. And there's a problem like this on the assignments, problem number 6. So when you go to number 6, you're going to want to come back to these examples and look at what's going on. Okay, x over here, you got minus, which is plus negative, and then divide by 2. But the problem is this is a parentheses. So we're going to get rid of the divide by 2 first. So the opposite of divide by 2 is times 2. So a times 2 divide by 2 cancels, so I line up my equals and I have x plus negative 7. 8 times 2 is 16. Now we're over here. Now I got the x, but I don't have any more times or division with the x. I just have this negative 7 out here. So I got 7, 7. And we're getting the negative 7 to a 0, which means we are adding 7. So we have x, 23. Okay, I'm going to go over another one like that. X plus 18 divided by negative 4 equals 8. Remember, that is a parentheses. You got plus and divide by. But since the top's in parentheses, we're actually going to get rid of do the opposite of division first. So times, times. Negative 4, negative 4. Now, what I have over here is x plus 18. 8 times negative 4 is negative 32. Okay, so now let's reset the equation. The only operation you have is plus. So I don't have times, I don't have division, so I circle the x solo. So get the 18 to a 0. If you're at 18, getting it to 0 is going to the left, which means subtract 18. And that's going to be negative 50. Now here's how you plug these answers in, I'll tell you, okay? You're going to want to make a parentheses on the top and replace your x with negative 50 plus 18. Then close your parentheses and then hit divided by negative 4. Hopefully we get 8. Yep. Pretty confident that's right. Okay, next up. Negative 22 equals negative 8 plus 7x. So we're over here. Negative 8 and 7, you got plus 7 and x is times. Remember, you're going to circle, but you want to circle the times along with the x. This is a more standard problem. Get your negative 8 to 0. That's going right, so you add 8. Addition property of equality by 8. Negative 22 plus 8. So if I'm at negative 22, I go 8 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Negative 14. And we still have 7 times x. Keep the multiplying operation circled. Now you do the opposite of times, which is to divide by the 7. Now negative 14 divided by 7 is negative 2. Having an x times and divide by 7 is x. Okay, negative 18 minus 11x equals 26. Wall. 18 11 is minus, so that's a plus negative 11. 11 and x is times. Please circle the times. This outside number you have to get to a 0. So, because we have two operations, times negative 11, and then we're adding the negative 18. We have to get the number we're adding, we have to get to 0. So to get from negative 18 to 0, that would be going to the right, so adding 18. Line up the equals, negative 11 times x, and then we got 44, 26 plus 18. Now the opposite of times negative 11 is divide by negative 11. Remember, that's why it helps if you circle the multiplying or dividing operation. So if you got a number outside, you know I have to take that to 0 by either adding or subtracting. Then when I go inside the circle, I'm thinking opposite times or divide. That's why that circle helps. Positive divide by negatives and negative 4. Okay, negative 9 equals x divided by negative 3 minus 6. We have divide and we have subtraction. Make that subtraction, and please circle the division. Okay, get the negative 6 to a 0. To get a negative to a 0, you apply the addition property of equality, where you just add 6 and add 6. So, negative 9 plus 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's negative 3. And we have x divided by negative 3. Now it's time to go inside the circle, and we have division. So we do the opposite of division, which is multiplication by the negative 3. Well, I guess they're both negative 3's, but that's the one I'm paying attention to. So over here, negative times a negative is a positive, and that's 9. Taking a variable times and divide by the same number leaves you with just the variable by itself, 9. Okay, so the operations are right on the right side of the equation, so x is 9 divided by negative 3 minus 6. Let's hope that's negative 9. It is. Okay, and the last one's one of those oddballs. Okay, you got one oddball with number 6 on the assignment. X minus 4 divided by 2 equals 10. Remember, this is a parentheses expression. Whenever I have a division line or a fraction line, whatever you want to call it, and we have operations on either the top or the bottom, that goes in parentheses. Okay, so we're over here. We actually want to get rid of the dividing number first, because the plus is in parentheses. So times, 3, 3. Times 3 divided by 3 cancels, and I'm left with x plus 6. 8 times 3 is 24. Now we reset the equation. The only operation I have is plus. No times, no divide. So I circle the x solo, and I get the 6 to a 0. Positive 6 to a 0 means minus 6. 24 minus 6 is 18. There we have it. Okay, again, to check that, you would want to put the x plus 6 in parentheses. So parentheses 18, because I think that's my answer for x, plus 6 divided by 3, 8.